BPCL takes part in an exhibition worldwide or in India, like any of the energy exhibition space. So the entire stall design, so that comes in the exhibition space. Like this, for all PSUs, we do a lot of events and exhibitions.
हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम बैक टू स्टॉक नॉक्स। मैं विष्णु अग्रवाल दिल वालों की दिल्ली से आपका स्वागत करता हूं। दोस्तों, अगर हम बात करें इवेंट्स की या डिजिटल एडवर्टाइजिंग की, क्रिएटिव कम्युनिकेशंस की या फिल्म प्रोडक्शन की, तो हम डिफरेंट एजेंसीज के पास जाते हैं। लेकिन आज हम एक ऐसी कंपनी के पास आए हैं जो कि ये सारे सर्विसेज खुद ही देते हैं, इसीलिए इनका नाम है एक्सप्रेशन 360। दोस्तों, आज हम मिलेंगे इनके प्रमोटर मिस्टर मोहित गुप्ता जी से और जानेंगे इनके बिजनेस के बारे में। ये जानकारी भी आपको दे दूं कि कंपनी IPO का प्रिपरेशन कर रही है, बहुत जल्द शायद IPO लेके आएगी। तो दोस्तों, कंपनी के बारे में और ज़्यादा जानकारी अगर जानना है आपको, तो स्टॉक नॉक्स में लॉगिन कीजिए, कंपनी को फॉलो कीजिए और जानिए कंपनी क्या करती है। तो चलिए मिलते हैं मोहित गुप्ता जी से। हेलो मोहित जी, हाउ आर यू? Such a nice office. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Such a nice office, wonderful office.
Pleasure to have you.
आज हम जानेंगे आपके बिजनेस के बारे में, तो चलिए बैठते हैं और जानते हैं आपके बिजनेस के बारे में। चलिए। तो मोहित जी, हमारा पहला प्रश्न आपसे ये रहेगा, क्या आप थोड़ा अपना बिजनेस का ओवरव्यू दीजिए ताकि हमारे दर्शक ये समझ पाए कि आप करते क्या है।
So, Expression started as an advertising agency.
Okay.
And in the last 2 years, we converted ourselves as Expression 360. Okay. The reason we did that is that we found that the media space and creative space is dying.
Okay.
We didn't want to be the Ogilvies of the world. We found a little space in the event side and the exhibition side, and digital is emerging. So while we were trying to serve all these services to our clients, we kind of renamed ourselves as Expression 360. And in the true manner, because when we enter a client, like an ONGC or a BPCL, it requires complete marcom solutions.
Okay.
Right from creative communication, media, a lot of exhibitions and a lot of events for them, and digital marketing. So eventually the company has a full stack in kind of services and all the marketing services what a PSU or a client would require.
ठीक है, so few things that I take from your answer. First is, what do we mean by creative communication when we say?
So let's say a BPCL has Mac Servo as a brand.
Okay.
It requires creative communication, that if there's a campaign on Mac lubricant, then what kind of campaign it would be. It requires its annual reports. It requires a lot of other advertising that BPCL requires. So complete creative communication is what we do for our clients.
Okay.
Along with this, we also do media. And then if there are events and exhibitions which also require creative communication, so there's a little bit of creative communication over there also.
So this includes short advertisements and all?
By far, yeah. Short advertising, long format campaigns, brochure designs, pamphlets, all kind of creative communication that is required.
और उसके साथ साथ आप डिजिटल मार्केटिंग को भी कवर करते हैं?
Yes.
इसीलिए आपने नाम इसका 360 दिए हैं, क्योंकि ये सारा चीज आप कवर करते हैं।
जब हम एडवर्टाइजिंग एजेंसी की तरफ पिच करते थे, तो हमें एक खाली एडवर्टाइजिंग एजेंसी की तरह देखा जाता।
हाँ, जो हम लोग जानते हैं।
जब हमने 360 बोलना शुरू किया, तो एक्सेप्टेंस एज अ इवेंट एजेंसी, एज एन एग्जीबिशन एजेंसी, एज एन एडवर्टाइजिंग एजेंसी, द कंप्लीट गैमेट काइंड ऑफ स्टार्टेड गेटिंग मोर एक्सेप्टेंस।
ठीक है, जब हम इवेंट की बात करते हैं तो हमें समझाइए कि इवेंट में आप क्या करते हैं, और आप तब से PSUs का नाम ले रहे हैं, तो खाली PSUs में कैटर करते हैं और क्यों?
So, the advertising industry today, everyone requires advertising.
Correct.
Every brand, every small entity, from a startup to a large PSU, would require. We started from Calcutta. Eventually, now that we've come to Delhi.
Correct.
As a corporate office, moved to Delhi, but our register office is still in Calcutta. We started with small accounts like Adhunik, Electro Steel, and all those clients. But we found that somewhere or the other, our niche is in the government. Not many agencies have that little gut to really have its inroads in the government. It requires a little bit of networking.
Correct.
It requires a better understanding of the client and the way forward. So we kind of found a comfort and an ease to be more at the government space. So today 90% of business is in the government, which is also an entry barrier that no other one, any other agency can easily enter the space very easily. So we're not competing with a whole lot of 100 agencies, we're competing with the few who are in the government space only.
Correct. When we say events, what we mean by events? I mean, what kind of events do we do?
So, as I said, I'll again, substantiate this entire question with an example.
Okay, that would be
so
better.
let's say, yeah. So let's say BPCL wants to do its brand launch. So it would have an entire event requirement for booking a hotel, kind of doing the creative communication for it, doing the entire stage design, the entire other requirements for an event. So we handle the entire event. Tomorrow BPCL wants to do, let's say, a roadshow for disinvestment in multiple countries across the world or other investors. So we do the entire requirements of all those roadshow requirements. BPCL heads, they have different meetings with the senior management.
Correct.
Or the channel partners and all that. So that again requires, booking up a hotel space, doing the entire stage, the entire other requirements of the event, we do entirely. BPCL takes part in an exhibition worldwide or in India, like any of the energy exhibition space. So the entire stall design, so that comes in the exhibition space. Like this for all PSUs, we do a lot of events and exhibitions.
So do you also take into account the traveling and the lodging part also?
Well, MICE is also a part of it, but not that we focus on that.
Right.
Our major emphasis is on experience. So major in terms of design of the exhibition, of the stage, or collaterals, or the entire experience. Artists, the entire stage management.
Yeah. So the creativity comes into it. Lot of creativity is required there. तो एक थिंग जो मेरे को क्लियर हो गया कि आपको एक एज मिलता है क्योंकि आप सारे सर्विसेज एक जगह इन PSUs को मिल जाता है. अगर इसके अलावा आपका कोई USP अगर हमको समझना हो, जैसे क्या इनोवेटिव टेक्नोलॉजी या किस लिए आपको बिजनेस मिलता है, तो वो क्या होगा?
So over the years we've invested a lot of resources in design. Yeah. What sets you different from one agency to another agency would only be design and a good production team. So that's the two sets that we've kind of really invested in, and I think that's what we win our pitches for.
Right. So now if I can get an idea about the size of the company that you are and whether you need, I heard that you are planning for an IPO. So where will you need these funds for? Why do you need these funds? And what is the size of your current company?
So Expression has a very decent trajectory in terms of its growth. We've been there for the last 10 years now. Year on year there's been decent growth. But yeah, post-COVID we've seen a phenomenal amount of growth because the government is getting into election years. And by and large, all PSUs are spending very well. So we see 100% growth in our entire growth trajectory. It kind of rings a bell that, future, if you want to look at, you want to compete with the outer world, the big wigs, you need to have major acquisitions, bigger brands to deal with. So we thought we should go for an IPO. And enables us to kind of, have the funds to do more acquisitions of design companies.
Okay.
Or better experience companies, so that kind of gives a better bouquet to our clients to go and give them service.
So with these funds that you are planning to raise through an IPO, आप और vertical acquisitions करने वाले हैं.
Exactly.
अब मेरा आपसे नेक्स्ट प्रश्न ये रहेगा, क्या अगर मैं नेक्स्ट 5 साल का आपसे विजन लेना चाहूँ आपकी कंपनीज का, समझ लेते हैं कि नेक्स्ट 6 months 8 months में आप IPO लेके आ जाते हैं, तो where do you see your company?
I think there's a lot of consolidation happening. The small agencies are not able to really balance up their cash flows, and also, kind of having a team which can go and pitch for bigger accounts is not easy. I think consolidation will help us giving the edge of acquiring these small agencies. Today, I think this year we'll cross 200.
So 200 crore annual turnover.
200 crore annual turnover, which in our advertising space, if media is subtracted, in services, is a big number.
So if you can give me a percentage of this 200 crore, how much it comes from media and how much from others?
So approximately we do around 15 to 20% from media.
Oh, okay.
Which is not much.
Not much. Yeah.
Approximately 8 to 10% from other services like digital, creative services. The major turnaround, 70%, is mainly from events and exhibition.
Okay.
And the bulk of the margin also comes from the events and exhibitions.
So the margin is higher there.
Yeah. I would also like to add,
Please.
you have a lot of agencies which specialize in events, but then they don't have design capability because they do brick and mortar events. So what the edge that Expression has is we came as a design agency, having communication also as a support, and now emerging as events. So when we go and serve our clients, it's with the regular event services, but added with a lot of design in creative communication and event design.
Got it. So in one of your earlier answers, you said that election year is coming and you could see a growth in the business. So election year में क्या political parties के लिए भी events या campaigns करते हैं? आप नहीं करते।
हम ऐसा कोई भी काम टच नहीं करते जहाँ हमें लगता है कि sustenance नहीं है। तो हम पॉलिटिकल जीरो करते हैं, हम स्टेट गवर्नमेंट जीरो करते हैं, हम ज़्यादा सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट करते हैं एंड सारा PSUs करते हैं।
वैसे
there is not another PSU in India which we are not serving.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. वैसे इलेक्शन बहुत बड़ा मार्केट है इलेक्शन इंडिया में, हर समय कहीं ना कहीं इलेक्शन चल रहा है।
But we don't want to be very politically inclined. That kind of brushes a lot of different shoulders. अभी एक पार्टी अगर हम सपोर्ट करें जिनके लिए अगर वो जीत गई तो बहुत अच्छी बात है, पर नहीं जीती तो हमें we are not keeping our eggs in that basket, where we have a dichotomy of business or relationship.
But people would say that you are losing a good amount of business over there.
But at least our growth trajectory is sustained. So even if the next year that election party is there or not, with the PSU clientele that we have and the central government, it will be a sustained and more stable business.
So we all know the history of payments that these PSUs have. How do you manage the cash flows?
It's a little difficult, but I think it's more secure. So might be there is a little delay in payments at times, but it's for sure that your payments are not going your way. I would like to add that our bad debts or our payments, anything on the bad debt side it's zero. It's not even a percentage. In the last 10 years, I would say our entire bad debt would be 1%.
Oh, that's negligible.
That's negligible.
So we heard that COVID was a year where every business saw a hiccup. So if I have to ask you two turning points for your business, what would that be?
Our integrated services. That's since we've developed that, I think it's just been a huge turnaround. When we approach our clients and they say that okay, आप ये भी इतना अच्छा कर लेते हो, आप event services भी इतना अच्छा कर लेते हो, आप video communication भी इतना अच्छा कर लेते हो, so it kind of gives the client the space that we become the dependable agency for them. That anything that you go to Expression for, they will deliver.
So we heard about your business. One question, कि इसके लिए production team चाहिए. जैसे आप बोल रहे डिजाइनिंग में काफ़ी फोकस कर रहे हैं तो डिजाइनिंग टीम चाहिए, तो क्या आप सब इन हाउस है आपके रिसोर्स या आप आउटसोर्स करते हैं? कितनी बड़ी टीम है आपकी?
So Expression today is a 120 people team across 6 offices. Major team of design and production is in-house.
Okay.
But in larger events, we do outsource as freelancers for the production.
Okay.
But the major design is always been in-house for us. The reason that we would like to acquire another design boutique house because we want really, really high efficiency and capabilities of design. So, to build better design capability.
So that is one of the object of the issue.
Absolutely.
If you raise fund.
Yeah.
So I have to ask you this question. During COVID, जब social gatherings नहीं थे, events नहीं हो रहे थे, and you said that 60-70% आपका revenue events से आ रहे, तो how did you sustain during that period?
Which is very surprising, we thought major agencies in our space were like dried out. There was zero business. In the COVID year also, we did substantially very good business. We closed at 35 crores.
Okay.
And we were very surprised. So we found that because of our integrated services, something was always on for us. The COVID era taught us, that digitally is something that is always going to be there. The dynamics are changing right now. Because of our digital services, our digital and a little bit of media, and a little bit of design services were always on.
Okay.
So we did a lot of content, COVID-related communication for all our clients during the across COVID period. The event space was dead, but that space was still on. pretty much there. You know, we could kind of go on a zero profit, zero loss year. You know, while people had lot of great losses in the COVID time.
So that's the benefit of having so many verticals. कोई ना कोई चलता रहता है तो आप एक क्योंकि आपके इतने PSUs है, PSUs में इम्पैनल होना बहुत टफ होता है. एक क्वेश्चन मैं पूछना चाहूँगा कि आपका क्लाइंट एक्विजिशन प्रोसीडियर या क्लाइंट कैसे आप एक्वायर करते हैं? व्हाट इज द वे दैट यू एक्वायर दिस PSUs और यू गेट बिजनेस फ्रॉम दिस PSUs?
It's very clear, Vishnu. One is word of mouth. Even in the PSU space, in the government space, if you're doing good work, your word spreads around. That's the dependable agency that you should have on your board. So it's very difficult, definitely, to get into any PSU because there are hundreds of agencies which pitch for it. Only 6 agencies get empaneled, or 8 agencies get empaneled. So coming down into the narrow 8 is difficult. Requires great amount of pitching, a very good presentation, a little bit of networking, of course. I think that's where our edge is also. You know, that we do have a little bit of everything which gets us the success story.
So as you said, good pitching and a good presentation. So this brings me to the last question. आपके ये वीडियो शायद बहुत सारे PSUs या आपके जो टारगेट ऑडियंस या जो कस्टमर है शायद वो भी देखेंगे. So if I had to ask you, आप एक पिच करिए so that they give you business, आपके क्लाइंट बने, कस्टमर बने. So what would be that pitch? Why should one hire or give their business to you?
If I had to sum it up on one line,
Yeah.
what I gather is there is not another agency in India today with the credentials that we have and the kind of integrated services, full stack that we deliver. If that's event, if that's exhibition, content, media, creative communication, and digital. Put together, I don't think so. I also like to add that not that we excel in everything. But there is a bit of everything that we really do well. So I think that's what our edge is. That the integrated services that we bring on the table, and the PSU clientele or the government clientele, which is an entry barrier, is the strongest position.
Great. So इतना सर्विसेज अक्रॉस ऑल वर्टिकल्स देने के बाद भी आप अपने आप को एक एडवर्टाइजिंग एजेंसी से ही क्लासिफाई करना चाहिए?
नहीं. हम एक इंटीग्रेटेड कम्युनिकेशन एजेंसी.
आप इंटीग्रेटेड कम्युनिकेशन एजेंसी है जहाँ सारे वर्टिकल्स को आप कवर करते हैं और इसीलिए एक PSU बोले या कोई गवर्नमेंट एजेंसी, गवर्नमेंट कंपनीज बोले आपके पास आना चाहते हैं ताकि उनको सारा चीज़ एक ही जगह मिल जाए.
सारा चीज़ एक ही जगह मिल जाए या एक डिपेंडेबल पार्टनर मिले जो हमारी सारी रिक्वायरमेंट्स में कहीं ना कहीं फिट इन करे और हमें डिलीवर करे. The PSU also has, any clientele has multiple options that they always have on their board. Not necessarily that they can depend on everyone. And there are some relationships which go beyond a customer and a vendor relationship. It goes as partners. So we always believe that if we can partner with our clientele, may that be a PSU or a government, and I think partnerships are everywhere, you know, that gives us the edge.
So trust and credibility is that you have built over
Most
the years.
important.
And that gets you more businesses.
Absolutely.
It was wonderful talking to you.
Thank
you for your time, and my good wishes are with you and for your company. Hope you come out with your IPO and help your investors in making more money.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
तो दोस्तों ये थी कहानी एक्सप्रेशन 360 की, जो कि आने वाले दिनों में शायद एक IPO लेके आए और जो कि एक अलग तरह की कंपनी है जहां वो कैटर करते हैं ना कि सिर्फ इवेंट में बल्कि डिजिटल मार्केटिंग एंड क्रिएटिव कम्युनिकेशन. सो लुक आउट फॉर दिस कंपनी फॉर द फ्यूचर. इट वाज वंडरफुल टॉकिंग टू मिस्टर मोहित गुप्ता. आप इस कंपनी के बारे में और ज़्यादा जानकारी अगर लेना चाहें तो स्टॉकनॉक्स में लॉग इन करिए, कंपनी को सर्च करिए, फॉलो करिए. यू कैन आस्क देम अ क्वेश्चन. आई होप द प्रमोटर्स विल रिप्लाई. थैंक यू. कीप वॉचिंग. डू लाइक एंड कमेंट. थैंक यू.